Ravens flock, it's been several days since the NFL Top 100 rankings came out, and there's one ranking that people still can't seem to agree on. Lamar Jackson ranked at number 69. Now by this point, everyone knows where he landed. The headlines have been written, the reactions have been posted, and Ravens fans have made it very clear how they feel about it. But after sitting back and thinking about this over the last few days, I honestly believe we've been asking the wrong question. Instead of asking, was Lamar Jackson disrespected? I think the better question is, was this ranking actually fair? Because depending on who asks, this ranking is either one of the biggest snubs on the entire list, or it's exactly where NFL players believe Lamar belonged based on last season. And that's why I wanted to make this video, not just to react, but to actually break this conversation down. Let's be honest, when you hear Lamar Jackson, you don't think of the 69th best player in football. You think about a two-time NFL MVP, one of the most electrifying quarterbacks the game has ever seen, a player who forces every defensive coordinator to completely rethink their game plan, someone who could beat you with his arm, his legs, or by extending a play long enough for someone to come open. There are many players in NFL history who have changed the quarterback position the way Lamar Jackson has. That's exactly why so many fans immediately looked at this ranking and said, there's no way. And honestly, I completely understand that reaction. But here's something that I think that gets overlooked. The NFL Top 100 isn't voted on by the fans. It's not voted on by TV analysts. It's voted on by the players. The same linebackers that's trying to chase Lamar Jackson, the same edge rushers that's trying to keep him in the pocket, the same defensive backs who know that when a play looks over, it usually isn't. Those players know better than anyone how difficult Lamar Jackson is to defend. So when they vote him at number 69, it raises a really interesting question. What are they seeing that led them to put him there? Because whether you agree with the ranking or not, it's worth trying to understand how they got there. And that's what makes Lamar Jackson such a fascinating player to talk about. He's one of the most accomplished quarterbacks in the league. He's one of the most dangerous players with the football in his hands. He's won multiple MVP awards. He's helped keep Baltimore in championship conversations year after year. Yet somehow, every offseason, there seems to be another debate about where he belongs among the NFL's elite. Some people believe he's the best quarterback in football. Others still focus on what he hasn't accomplished in the postseason. And somewhere in the middle is where these rankings always seem to land. That's why this conversation never really goes away. And personally, I don't think this story is just about Lamar Jackson being ranked at number 69. I think this story is about how people evaluate greatness. Do you judge a player by individual accomplishments? Do you judge them by statistics? Do you judge them by playoff success? Or do you judge them by what opposing defenses have to deal with every single Sunday? Because depending on how you answer those questions, your opinion on Lamar Jackson's ranking might be completely different. So let's actually look at both sides of this debate. Why do so many people believe Lamar Jackson was ranked way too low? And is there any argument that could possibly justify where he landed? So let's start with the side that the Ravens fans have been arguing all week. Why do so many people believe Lamar Jackson was ranked way too low? Honestly, it starts with his resume. We're not talking about a quarterback who's still trying to prove himself. We're talking about a player who has already accomplished most things that quarterbacks never will. 2 MVP awards, multiple Pro Bowl selections, one of the highest winning percentages among starting quarterbacks since entering the league, and a player who has completely changed the way defenses prepare every single week. Those aren't opinions, those are accomplishments. That's why so many people looked at number 69 and immediately thought, there's no way there are 68 better football players than Lamar Jackson. And I completely understand why they feel that way. Then you look at what Lamar actually forces defense to deal with. He's one of the few quarterbacks in football who can beat you in multiple ways on the same play. You can cover every receiver perfectly, and Lamar can still pick up 20 yards with his legs. You can spy him with a linebacker, and he'll step up in the pocket and make an incredible throw. You can pressure him, and he'll escape before anyone gets a hand on him. That's what makes him different. Defensive coordinators don't just prepare for Lamar Jackson. They had to build an entire different game plan because Lamar Jackson is on the field. Very few players in this league demand that kind of attention, and in my opinion, that alone makes him one of the most valuable players in football. But it's not just about physical talent. One thing that gets overlooked is how much Lamar Jackson has grown as a quarterback, because early in his career, the conversation was always about his running ability. People questioned whether he could consistently beat defenses from the pocket. Fast forward to today, and those conversations have changed. He's become more patient, more accurate, more comfortable working through his progression. He's making throws over the middle. He's reading defenses before the snap. He's taking what defenses give him instead of forcing plays. That's growth, that's development, and that's exactly what you want to see from your franchise quarterback. Then there's something that doesn't always show up on the stat sheet: leadership. Talk to teammates, listen to coaches. Watch how this locker room responds to Lamar Jackson. He's become the face of the Baltimore Ravens. When adversity hits, players rally around him. When expectations are high, he embraces them. That matters. Because being one of the best players in football isn't just about statistics, it's about the impact you have on your entire team, and Lamar's impact on this franchise is impossible to ignore. But to have an honest conversation, I also think it's important to understand why some people defend this ranking. Remember, the NFL Top 100 is voted on by players, and those votes reflect how they view performances leading into this season. The league is filled with elite talent. Every year, MVPs, All-Pros, and future Hall of Famers are all competing for spots on the list. So naturally, someone's going to feel underrated, someone's going to feel overrated, and fans are always going to disagree with the final order, and that's part of what makes these rankings so popular every offseason. But even after considering that, I still keep coming back to the same thought. When you have a quarterback who changes defensive game plans, who has won multiple MVPs, who gives your team a chance to win on every single Sunday, it's really difficult for me to believe there are nearly 70 players more impactful than Lamar Jackson. Maybe you don't rank him in the top 5, maybe you don't even rank him in the top 10. Everyone is going to have a different opinion, but number 69, that's the part that continues to fuel this debate. And that's what brings me to the biggest question of all. Does this ranking actually matter, or is Lamar Jackson about to do what he's always done? Let his play on the field answer every question. So after looking at both sides of this debate, I can understand why rankings like this create so much discussion. Everyone values different things. Some people prioritize statistics, others value championships, some focus on postseason success. Others look at overall talent and impact. That's why lists like the NFL Top 100 would never make everyone happy. But when it comes to Lamar Jackson, I think there's something bigger happening. I don't think people are questioning his talent anymore. I think they're questioning what still hasn't happened in January and February, and whether we like it or not, that's become part of Lamar's story. Think about it. Nobody questions whether Lamar Jackson can dominate the regular season. Nobody questions whether he's one of the most excited players in football. Nobody questions whether defensive coordinators lose sleep preparing for him. Those conversations are over. The debate now is about one thing. Can Lamar lead Baltimore all the way to a Super Bowl? Because fair or unfair, that's the standard for every elite quarterback. Patrick Mahomes gets measured by championships. Joe Burrow gets measured by playoff success. Josh Allen faces the same questions every offseason, and Lamar Jackson is no different. That's simply the reality of playing quarterback in today's NFL. But here's why I don't think Ravens fans should be discouraged by this ranking. Sometimes a little doubt can become powerful motivation. Athletes remember moments like this. They remember the headlines, they remember the rankings, they remember the conversation saying they aren't high enough or that someone else is better. Whether Lamar admits it publicly or not, competitors notice those things, and if history has taught us anything, is that the greatest players usually let their performance do the talking. When I look at the Baltimore Ravens heading into this season, I don't see a team that's rebuilding. I don't see a team searching for its identity. I see a team that believes its championship window is wide open. Lamar Jackson is still in his prime. The offense has explosive playmakers around him. The defense continues to set high expectations. Everything this organization has built points towards one goal: winning a Super Bowl. And honestly, that's the only ranking I believe Lamar Jackson truly cares about. Because let's be real, if Lamar Jackson leads Baltimore to a Super Bowl this season, does anyone honestly believe we'll still be talking about him being ranked number 69? I don't. We'll be talking about where he belongs among the greatest quarterbacks of his generation. That's how quickly narratives change in the NFL. One incredible season, one championship run, one Lombardi trophy, and suddenly all these offseason rankings become old news. So my final takeaway is this: do I believe Lamar Jackson was ranked too low? Yes, I do. Not because I believe rankings should be based on popularity, but because I don't think there are nearly 70 players who impact winning the way Lamar Jackson does. He's a two-time NFL MVP. He's one of the most difficult players in football to defend. And every single year, he gives the Baltimore Ravens a chance to compete for a championship. But at the same time, I also believe Lamar Jackson is at a point in his career where rankings don't define him anymore. His legacy won't be remembered because of where he finished on one offseason list. His legacy will be remembered by what he accomplishes when the games matter most. And that's why I think this debate will eventually take care of itself. If Lamar Jackson keeps playing the way we know he's capable of, and if the Ravens finally make that Super Bowl run, number 69 won't be remembered as the final word. It'll be remembered as another moment people underestimated one of the most unique players this league has ever seen. Now, I want to hear from you, Ravens flock. Do you think Lamar Jackson's number 69 ranking was fair, or was it one of the biggest snubs on this year's NFL Top 100? And if you're making your own list, where would you rank Lamar among the top 100 players in the NFL today? Top 25, top 10, or is he already one of the 5 best players in football regardless of position? Drop your comments below, like, share, subscribe. I appreciate you all for watching the videos on Gridiron Flock TV. I'm gonna continue to bring you all the breaking news when it comes to the Ravens organization, and you already know, we out.